A man who didn't want his girlfriend to move in with him burned down his trailer. And a woman jumped into a zoo monkey enclosure to feed them hot Cheetos. French films are showing far too much smoking, researchers say. These are the weird stories for Thursday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian. I'm Jonesy. I have 3 weird news stories from around the world for your ears today. Or maybe you're not using your ears to take this in. Whatever you're using to take this in. A man who didn't want his girlfriend moving in with him decided to burn his own trailer down, police say. A man told the police he was having second thoughts about his girlfriend moving into his trailer with him. He was charged with setting his own home on fire. Well, that's one way to get out of it. I'd like to move in with you. Well, that'd be nice if you moved in with me, but it looks like, oops, I don't have a home anymore. I don't know how that happened. What's the name of this genius? Jordan James Burgott, age 29, was charged with aggravated arson. Unfortunately, this is a first-degree felony. He got charged with a first-degree felony for arson against himself. Shouldn't you be able to burn down your own crap if you feel like it? I mean, did he co-own it with somebody? I mean, he burned down his own home. I mean, it's his own property. I don't see why this is a first-degree felony. Was anyone hurt in the fire? Did you burn down, I don't know, did you have some pet bunnies inside? According to the documents, the Clearfield, Utah firefighters were called to a mobile home fire. When questioned by the police, the homeowner, Jordan James, told them, "Oh, I know exactly how this fire started. I started the fire. That's how it started." That's his quote. He said, "I started the fire. That's how it started." Jordan James says his girlfriend was planning on moving in, but he flouted her plans, apparently. Did she show up with 2 suitcases to watch it burn down? I want to know. Could you not come up with a better plan than this, Jordan? Did you not ask your friends, "Hey, guys, my lady wants to move in with me. Do you have any other?" I mean, there's so many other choices. You could sell your home. That's another choice. You could sell your mobile home and say, "No, I sold it, unfortunately. The market was very good. I decided to get out when the getting was good." You could, I don't know, tell her you're born again and scare her away with Jesus. Although it's Utah. Not sure that's going to work. Although, no, maybe it will. A lot of Mormons in Utah. I mean, there's so many other choices. You could have just, I don't know, went on a long vacation. Maybe be honest with her and say you're not ready to take it to that level. How about that? Instead of, "Hey, I'm ready to take it to this next level." "Oh, really? Where are my matches?" Jordan James says his girlfriend was planning on moving in, but things with her had not been going well lately, he said. So he figured that if he burned down his home, he would no longer have to worry about his girlfriend moving into that home. How does someone this dumb end up owning a home is what I want to know. I can't own shit. And I'm not this dumb. Prosecutors say Jordan sprayed the drapes with automotive cleaner and then lit them on fire. The fire caused significant damage to his residence as well as the residence next to his trailer. Oh, geez. See, this is the problem. He's in a trailer park. They didn't say that up top. This is why it's a felony. He did damage to someone else's property as well and endangered the entire trailer park. I guess I should have assumed that it was in a trailer park, but it didn't say that. And, you know, what are you going to do about these trailer park people? You just, they don't have brains. This is a problem. The residence next to Jordan's trailer was occupied by a family of 4. You see, this guy doesn't even think ahead. Like, oh, there's a family of 4 living next to me. Let me still just light a giant fire because I'm not getting along with Mandy or Mindy or whatever her name is. Burgott also told the police he was addicted to meth. All right, so now we're getting to the bottom of other motivations. He admitted that he hears voices, and the voices previously told him to physically harm himself or others. Oh, boy. The voices in my head told me to burn down the trailer. The voices in my head told me to stay single. I'm going to get on Tinder with the voices in my head. Anyone want to date Jordan and the voices in his head? He used to be a homeowner. No longer. Yay! A woman jumped into a monkey enclosure at the zoo in order to feed the animals hot Cheetos. This is a Texas woman. She don't give a damn. She loves her Cheetos. She wants other mammals to experience flamin' hot Cheetos. She climbed inside the spider monkey enclosure at the El Paso Zoo to feed the animals the hot Cheetos, according to the police report. Yep, them hot Cheetos. They identified the woman who entered the enclosure as Lucy Ray. Oh, Lucy Ray. That's a very Texas name. Lucy Ray don't like her hot Cheetos. She liked them hot Cheetos. She loved them. She want the monkeys to experience them hot Cheetos. Don't you, Lucy? Lucy loved them hot Cheetos. Her fingers are always orange. That Lucy, yep. Around her mouth, she got orange. She always got that orange little crust around her mouth and her fingers. She want the monkeys to have orange on their faces, too. She's climbing into that zoo. Oh, yeah, look at her go giving them monkeys hot Cheetos. Last week, she tried to give them sour cream and onion Pringles. She out of her mind with the snacks she gets at 7-Eleven. Someone at the El Paso Zoo named Joe. Oh, Joe's the zoo director. Sounds like a lovely job. He describes Lucy Ray as stupid and lucky. The video was posted on Instagram. Lucy can be seen feeding the animals underneath a waterfall in their habitat before walking back towards the pathway and out of the enclosure. Yeah, she went right up to the waterfall. It's like, them monkeys right there, they look hungry. Oh, look at that. I got some flaming hot Cheetos in the bottom of my purse. Let me go feed them next to the waterfall, get a selfie. The zookeeper named Mason told the media that Lucy Ray didn't just put herself in harm's way, but also endangered the spider monkeys. The spider monkeys' names are Libby and Sunday. Oh, poor Libby and Sunday. They got high cholesterol now from these, these flaming hot Cheetos. Not only that, they're very high in sodium. Poor monkeys can't have sodium like that. They're very spicy, too. I don't know if monkeys are used to this artificial spice. There's a lot going on in those flaming Cheetos, I tell you right now. Hot Cheetos, oh boy. In addition to potentially harming the animals by deviating from their specialized diet, Lucy also could have potentially exposed them to COVID-19. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Lucy with her COVID-19. I just thought she had Cheetos. I didn't know she had COVID Cheetos. The zookeeper informed everybody, thankfully, the monkeys are fine. They're fine, guys. They're fine. Maybe a little shaken up by the incident, but they're pretty fine. He also told the publication that zoo officials are meeting with law enforcement to discuss bringing charges against Lucy Ray, and that they will be pursuing prosecutions to the fullest extent of the law. We're going to prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. Yes, this little Cheetos bandit. Who does she think she is? What's next? She fed the monkeys in our zoo. Who's to say she's not going to go to another zoo and actually feed a cheetah some Cheetos? It seems more appropriate anyways. You're giving monkeys cheetah. Everybody knows that Cheetos were invented by a cheetah. Therefore, they should be fed to other cheetahs. I want to see her try and feed a cheetah some Cheetos, to be honest with you. I think a cheetah would just rip apart her shoulder. I'm sorry. I don't wish ill will on anybody. According to the media, it says it's going to take years for the monkeys to build trust again with the zookeepers. Oh, Lucy Ray may have ruined the relationship with these actions. They're going to think that every little zookeeper approaching them is going to give them something flaming hot and with high sodium that makes their fingers all crusty and orange. Here's a quote from the zookeeper. For someone to come in there for 5 minutes for a video on Instagram or whatever, maybe TikTok, it just ruins years of work. We've built up trust with these monkeys over the years. Can't just be feeding them anything like that. It says that because of this, in her Instagram post, Lucy Ray has been fired from her job as a litigation assistant at a law firm. This woman works at a law firm? Man, you would think that a litigation assistant would have her crap together. She wouldn't be doing such stupid stunts like this. Oh. Well, hopefully she'll get a break on her rep after she gets sued by this zoo. Is there anybody out there that specializes in zoo enclosure break-in lawsuits? I just can't believe these morons that just keep breaking into zoos and jumping over fences. Are you okay or what? Now, for the record, if I was going to break into a monkey exhibit and feed them anything, can you guess what it would be? I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be something amazing. Pirate's booty. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast Too difficult? No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man.
Yay!
Ba 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 bang ba bang bang ba ding ding dong. Weird news, weird news. It's weird AF news. French films show far too much smoking, people are saying. French cinema is still addicted to showing smoking on screen, as a new study reveals the practice features in nearly all of the country's films that it's made. Smoking gets 2.6 minutes of screen time on average per film, the equivalent of 6 advertisements, so says the French League Against Cancer. Tobacco remains quasi-ubiquitous in French films, they say. Do you know what I said there? Tobacco remains quasi-ubiquitous in the French films. I don't know if that's a good French accent. What they're saying is tobacco is in all French films. Yeah, we know that. The French smoke, man. They smoke like chimneys. I always make that joke on here. They don't shower and they smoke. They smell like a tobacco factory. So they're arguing that the exposure glamorizes smoking and is calling for new measures to cut down the amount shown in movies. Well, let's compare it to the amount of violence that's shown in American movies. Which is worse? I'd rather see a bunch of people smoking than a bunch of people getting their heads chopped off. I mean, the violence in the films that come out of my country is ridiculous. Is there some league against violence in films coming out saying anything about this? No, we all seem to be okay with it, showing kids just violence. Netflix violence, Hulu violence. It's all violence. There's more cop shows than any other type of show, I swear. Just like, how many guns do you see on your average TV show and film made in America? I'd trade it for cigarettes any day of the week. That's just my thing. They're arguing that the exposure glamorizes smoking. Well, you can't really glamorize smoking any more than the French have already done and are doing anyways. You know, I doubt people in France are watching films with smoking going, oh, we should smoke even more. And I really don't think that other people watch French films anymore anyways in other places. When was the last time you've seen a French film that was recently made? It says here, nearly half a century since stars like Jean Moreau, Brigitte Bardot lit up seductively during the French New Wave, some 90% of 150 films from 2015 to 2019 surveyed by the League contained a smoking event. This included a character smoking, the presence of ashtrays and of cigarettes, or a character talking about smoking. A poll among French young people that accompanied the survey found that nearly 60% considered such scenes to be an inducement to smoke. While animations such as The Little Prince are free from criticism, period movies such as 2019's An Officer and a Spy are considered among the worst offenders, according to the study. Smoking has decreased in France in recent years, if you can believe that, but its depiction in the nation's films have remained prominent, says the League's Yama Demirova, who worked on this particular study. She told the BBC, even though we have a very strong prevention program, we still have a lot of tobacco smoking in the movies. So films depict more smoking than in real life. And we know this has a direct impact on the normalization of tobacco smoking. I highly doubt the films depict more smoking than in real life France. I find it hard to believe. 2.6 minutes of smoking in a film on average. You think that's more than smoking happens in real life in France? You're out of your mind. She says the French government needs to regulate the amount of smoking showed on screen by cutting public subsidies for movies that show smoking on purpose. You know, movies should show slices of life sometimes, real life. And real life in France is smoking, drinking coffee, not taking a shower, having sex with strangers. This is... I'm kidding, guys. That's not what's going on. Yes, it is going on. She goes on to say, we do not want to interfere in cultural creation. Yes, you do. You want to interfere in cultural creations. And as a stand-up comedian, I have to say, it's pretty damn annoying, all the interference going on in our cultural creations. the artwork that my industry is trying to put out there is being interfered with as well. I'm just tired of people saying what we can and cannot create in our art. Like, stay out of our art. Please, let us do our thing. All right? The culture will decide whether or not we are going to be successful or not. Let them decide. Let them be adults. If they find smoking in the films offensive, they will not go back to the theater for such films. Let the market decide. Don't tell the artist what to do. Let the artist express herself or himself or itself, whatever entity happens to be making the art. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, you respectable citizens of this earth. I appreciate you once again joining me for another episode of Weird AF News, all the way till the outro. Good for you. You get a cookie. You also get to listen to me speak for a couple more minutes, but don't worry, I won't be too annoying because I don't have that many announcements right now. I'm going to publish some phone calls after this. I want to thank everyone who called me. Thank everyone who sent me articles. Tomorrow is Friday, so you know what that is. Florida Friday. Send the Florida stories on to me, baby. funnyjones@gmail.com. That's where you can send Florida Friday stories, or you can submit them through my website, weirdafnews.com. Jonesy, what else can we do at weirdafnews.com? Oh, I'm so glad that you asked. Wow, you are a curious creature. Let me tell you, Curious George, this is how you do it. You go to weirdafnews.com. You can do all kinds of stuff. Listen to the podcast. You can submit stories. You can also join my Patreon. Oh, that's what I was getting to. Joining the Patreon is very easy. Go to weirdafnews.com and click on the link that's there, and then you can get access to extra Weird AF content. You know, more of me talking. No, it's not. There's a lot of me writing, actually, is what's going on. And I'm not that bad of a writer, okay? All right? Public school, guys, public school. But yes, you can support the show by joining the Patreon. You can send Jonesy a couple bucks a month to keep this thing going. Keep this train, this Weird AF News train, chugging along the tracks, guys. Sometimes we definitely go off the rails, as you know. But I think that's what you like most about this show, is when I go off the rails. It's just priceless off-the-rail activity around here. That's what you get with Weird AF News. Well, you can get regular weird news anywhere, but don't you want someone who goes off the rails occasionally? Don't you want someone who's so caffeinated that they're just out of their minds? That's what you want. Support the show. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/weirdafnews. And call the show, 646-450-2012, if you feel like it. I'll see you tomorrow, you weirdos.